Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about few more medical terminology prefixes that denotes color. Okay, so far we have already covered couple of prefixes that we were used to denote direction, position, or some properties like properties as well, right? But in this session, we are going to mainly discuss about the prefixes that denote color. Okay, so for those like who is directly referring this session, so let me repeat for them. Like prefixes is something, a word. You can say prefix is a word that is attached with some medical terminology at the beginning, and then that word indicates something that might be, that could be like color, position, direction, or anything else. But somewhere those words are indicating some information. So that's why we are studying about the prefixes. Now in this session, how we are going to proceed? First of all, I'll tell you about the prefixes and I'll explain you the prefix meaning as well. And then later we will also discuss few examples related to those prefixes. Because this is the only thing that will help you to identify the medical terminology when you are preparing for any interview or any kind of exam. Okay, so let's start. The first prefix today we have is chloro. Now what is chloro? Chloro is a prefix which is used to produce a sound of green, or it is something related to the green. It could be anything, okay, but somewhere it would be related only with the green color. Okay, so let's see what all examples we have. First example is chloroma. Now what is chloroma? Chloroma is a tumor that contains greenish pigment often associated with leukemia. Okay, so whenever a doctor want to showcase a tumor that contains greenish pigment. Now what is greenish? Greenish is something, a pigment, the color of pigment is green. Okay, then which is often associated with a leukemia. So in such situation, to showcase or to present this tumor, what we will do, we will use the terminology chloroma, which is composed of prefix chloro. Okay, so here you can see that yes, chloro is used in order to showcase something as green. So here you can see there is a sense of greenish pigment. That's why we are using the prefix chloro. Then we have chlorophyte. Now what is chlorophyte? Chlorophyte is a type of green algae. Okay, so when you want to showcase something as a green algae, then you will use the uh, terminology, medical terminology, chlorophyte. Okay, and then that chlorophyte is composed with a prefix chloro, which is again used to denote the green color. Okay, then we have chlorophyll. Now what is chlorophyll? A chlorophyll is a green pigment found in plant that is essential for photosynthesis. I'm sure that you have heard about the photosynthesis process, where plants are producing food for themselves, right? So in that this situation, one pigment is very essential, which is of green color. So to indicate that green color, to indicate that green pigment, we are using the terminology chlorophyll, where chloro is representing the green. Okay, fine. Then we have chloropsia. Now what is chloropsia? Chloropsia is a condition characterized by seeing everything as green. So some of the patient have encountered this type of disease where they only see everything as a green color. Okay, so this thing we will denote with the help of chloropsia terminology, which is started or initiated with the prefix chloro. So yeah, these are the some example for chloro prefix. Now if you look at all the examples again, you will find that yes, there is only one thing which is common in all these examples, which is green. Somewhere we are talking about the greenish pigment, somewhere we are talking about the green algae, and somewhere we are talking about the green pigment, as well as everything is green. Like you can see the fourth example, a condition characterized by seeing everything as green. So to just to denote these things, we are using the terminal prefixes chloro. Okay, so this is the first example. Now we will look at the second example or second prefix. So second prefix is Chrom or Chromato. Now what is Chrom and Chromato? This prefix is mainly used in order to denote something with a color. So somewhere it is related to color again. Okay, so like from this definition it is clear that yes, whenever we found something as Chrom or Chromato as a prefix, then we are talking about something. So we are talking something about color. But to have a proper picture of this thing, what we will do, we will go through the examples. So now you can look at the first example, which is chromatography. Now what is chromatography? Chromatography is a laboratory technique used for separating and analyzing mixtures based on their color. Okay, so again you can see we are talking about colors. So it is nothing but a technique used for separating and analyzing the mixture based on their colors. So this type of process is denoted with the terminology chromatography, which is composed with a chromato prefix, and it is denoting that something is, we are talking about color. Then we have chromatocyte. Now what is chromatocyte? A cell that contains pigment or coloring matter. So when you want to showcase something as a cell that contains a pigments or coloring matter, then we will use the terminology chromocyte. Okay, then we have chromatophore. What is chromatophore? Chromatophore is a pigment containing cell auricle responsible for the coloration in the organism. So when we are talking about some kind of pigment which is used which is responsible for the coloration in organism, then this thing we will denote with the help of chromatophore. Okay, then we have last example for this chrome or chromato, which is chromatogram. Now what is chromatogram? Chromatogram is a column of a material that has been separated by chromatography. So just assume a scenario where we are using a column of material that has been separated with a chromatography showing different colors or pigment. So again, somewhere we are breaking down the things into colors, and somewhere we are talking about the things which is related to color. Okay, so if you look at all the examples again, then you will find only one thing which is common here, which is color, because in every example we are talking about colors, right? So to talk about colors or to denote something related to color, we can use two types of prefixes, which is chrome or chromato. Okay, so yeah, these are the two prefixes that we have discussed so far, chloro and chrome, chromato. Now we will talk about the another prefix, which is again used to denote something as color but in terms of blue color. Now look at the example. First one is cyanobacteria. Now what is cyanobacteria? It is a photosynthetic bacteria that often have a blue-green pigment. So if you look at the definition again, you will find that yes, again we are talking about something as blue. So photosynthetic bacteria that often have blue-green pigment is known as cyanobacteria. So if you look at the terminology, you will find that yes, cyano is indicating blue color, although green is also there, but as we are focusing more on blue part, that's why we are talking about cyano prefix, which is used here for the terminology cyanobacteria. Then we have cyanocyte. Cyanocyte is a cell that produces blue color. So again, to produce a blue color, we are using the terminology cyanocyte. Likewise, we have cyanolysis, which is nothing but a destruction or breaking down of blue colored structures. So when you are breaking down or you are destructing the blue color structures, then you can tell this process as cyanolysis. Again, we are talking about blue color, that's why we are using the prefix cyano. And at last, we have another example for cyano, which is cyanopsia. Now, what is cyanopsia? It is a visual disturbance in which objects appear to be tinted blue. So we have discussed two diseases, right? First one is if chloropsia, where everything is seen as green, and then we discussed about cyanopsia, where everything is appeared to be tinted blue. But somewhere we are talking about the color, that's why we are using either chloro or cyano. So yeah, these are the some prefixes which I want to share with you in this session. And for today, like, we have one question: what information is provided by the prefix reticulo and scolio? So this thing we have already covered. So you can answer this question in the comment section. But if you have any doubt, you can refer the previous session, because this thing we have already covered in previous session. So yeah, that's all for today. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.